Okay, so we are on. Hi Shweta, how are you?
Hey, hi Edward. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. And I guess we exchanged a LinkedIn message almost a year back, right?
Yeah.
And somehow I missed that. I don't know how. Then very recently, I guess a month back, there was a connection
You
once again.
commented on one of my posts, I guess, then.
Yeah,
And then it suddenly, rewired all the connections that we.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And last time
exactly.
it was in a completely different context. And this time it was
Yeah.
completely different context.
But I guess last time also you mentioned something on wellness, isn't it? On the
No,
LinkedIn
that
chat.
was that was for a SaaS product. At that time I was
Okay.
working on a SaaS product.
Okay, so even back then, while you were working on a SaaS product, you were still working somewhere on well-being and nutrition and wellness.
It was not really. It was more around influencer marketplace. I was working on an influencer marketplace at that point.
Okay, so just to introduce you a bit, for whoever will be watching this. So Shweta is basically a SaaS domain expert, and she lives in Bangalore, the hubs of startups in the country. And she's co-founded and founded SaaS, projects before, but somehow she found inspiration in nutrition and wellness, and she thought that she will completely change her industry. And now she is working on a nutrition and wellness product, which is organic, etc., etc. So I won't speak much about the product, because I want you to speak about the product. So just to begin with, how did this journey, like tell us something about your SaaS journey and what
Yeah,
triggered and how did you shift to a completely different industry called D2C in wellness?
right. So, Advait, in my whole corporate journey, I have worked in different geographies, all metros. My initial couple of months in Mumbai, then Chennai, then Bangalore. I even worked in Delhi, Noida for some time. And what common thing I noticed was that people who are dedicating, their whole time and energy towards building the economy of this nation are the most compromised people when it comes to health. Like, already cities are known for high level of pollution, be it air pollution, water pollution, and on top of it, the lifestyle that people get, being in this profession, sedentary lifestyle, no access to fresh food, leading to nutritional deficiencies, which leads to so many lifestyle conditions. Heart attack, heart issues are the leading cause of death globally.
Yeah,
And it's more than 70%. Like, I was appalled when I look into the stats. Obesity, again, India has the highest rate of obesity, with around 125 million estimated people obese. And all these were numbers until one day one of my very very close friend, we almost lost him to a heart stroke. And that was the day, it shook me and all of our like connections who were there at that point.
it was the age.
And he was not even 30. He's not even 30. Just got married, 29, working in one of the best, like he was working in Intuit as a senior developer. He very resourceful, like he comes from a good family background, earning good money. He used to have all these, healthy, so-called healthy food products in his
Mhm.
house, and yet that was the condition. And that was a turning point when I felt ki, yeah, see, lifestyle issues are increasing, and so is the health supplement market. It's a huge category, it's a crowded category, and people are consuming it. If you look at the sales of some of these, leading brands, and
Yeah,
yet, why the numbers are still increasing? Like, doesn't it, is conclusive in itself? It is,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
that was a gap that I saw, and well, since I had a personal story also around this, I was also at one point very obese, fell prey
Yeah, I
to the
saw your pictures.
lifestyle conditions.
I saw your pictures on LinkedIn, maybe, or on Instagram, that you were at one point of time quite obese. And it's a very similar story to my story also, because I also at one point of time was very obese. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah,
so you would relate, right? So, and with obesity comes a lot of other issues. So for me, how it was, I'll take a step back and tell that how this whole negative spiral started for me. So as long as I was in my ecosystem, like when I was living with my family, I was very healthy. But the moment I stepped out, when I went to hostel NIT for the first time, one reason was I think mental issues also cause to some extent these things, and I was really hoping that I'll make it to the coveted IITs, and I couldn't. I had to make do with the NIT, and I was not happy about it. So I just used to be in my room and
I
not
hope
get
the
out
NIT guys are not
much.
listening to it.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, I was going through a little sad phase, and I did a lot of stress eating. I started eating a lot, and I gained weight. I became obese, and that aggravated my asthma issues. I became anemic. I got PCOD. I got like a whole lot of issues that are, they just start coming once you
Yeah.
get obese, get you
Yeah.
overweight. So that was the start of it, and fortunately I come from a family background ki my parents, my grandparents, they know a lot of things which are very effective, and with the help of family support I was able to turn around very quickly, like within a couple of years I managed to lose weight sustainably. And meanwhile I myself tried lot of खुद से मैं होशियार बनने की कोशिश कर रही थी कि नहीं मैं ठीक कर लूँगी, I will fix this. So I tried lot of weight loss supplements that are there in market. I even took that VLCC का package. It was like around 1.5 lakh at that point. It was very expensive, but I forced my mom to get it for me, and it did work, but temporarily, and
Not
all the
sustainable.
weight came back. Yeah, it was not sustainable. Weight loss pills and diets that I tried, those led to more side effects. Like I
Yeah.
literally lost all my hair. Maybe I'll put a picture of that also. I was like bald, like partially bald, and I was not even getting hair in those areas, those patches. I started trying hair growth serums, Thrive ka, iska, uska, but that was also making it worse. But the final conclusion of this whole story is that there is no shortcut, and
Mm.
the answer lies in complete holistic nutrition,
Yeah.
which our urban population is not getting access to.
Yeah.
And the health supplement industry is leveraging the fear and the pain of these urban dwellers कि पेन है, फोमो है, तो वो कैश इन कर रहे हैं, बट उससे नहीं होता है. लाइक इट्स वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स. न्यूट्रिशन एंड ह्यूमन बॉडी इज वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स, एंड यू कैन नॉट जस्ट एक्सट्रैक्ट समथिंग आउट ऑफ अ नेचुरल फूड सोर्स एंड एक्सपेक्ट कि हाँ अब इसमें से हमने ये निकाल के कैप्सूल बना दिया, अब हम उसको खा लेंगे एंड इट विल वर्क द वे दैट नेचुरल फूड प्रोडक्ट वुड. A lot of things go into it beyond the scope of this maybe podcast, but
Yeah.
maybe some other time we can have a whole lot of different just on this topic. But yeah, that was why I decided that I need to do something. I have
Mm.
done this turnaround, so I felt kind of liable to share what I know and help my community.
It's really interesting because when we spoke earlier, you shared your background with me, and you come from a background. Your family lives in Haryana, and
Yes.
family have a lot of farmlands, etc. They grow healthy food, they grow organic
Right.
food. You also have a defense background, and
Yeah, my mom's family is from
yeah,
defense.
and you know, taking both these things and sort of marrying them together, like a farming background and a defense background. So people generally, of these backgrounds are very healthy, right? And they're very conscious. But when people move out to, different cities, out of their family ecosystem, as you said, they tend to, sort of get swayed by the daily routines of life, right? And then life takes over them, and that is
Yes.
when they begin to lose their, their healthy habits, etc., in the hustle and bustle of daily life, right? So I guess that is what you went through, and maybe that is when you decided to shift from SaaS to nutrition and wellness. So maybe it was your calling or your purpose, isn't it?
It was, and see, although I had all the knowledge and I had the foundation of a healthy lifestyle, like from the very beginning when I was like 4 5 years old. I remember that our dad used to wake us up कि योगा करो प्राणायाम करो घर में हमेशा food used to be very simple and
Mhm.
healthy. But even with that foundation, I fell into that negative spiral. Reason being, I will mention four top reasons. I recently conducted a poll also on LinkedIn around this, and my hypothesis was validated by a lot of people. The
Including me.
first and foremost is कि urban lifestyle में time, there is no time actually. It's so fast paced, like you are in and out of meetings and you do. And healthy eating actually requires a lot of planning, and you need to source the ingredients so you can put together a healthy meal for yourself. So people don't have that. First is that. Second and foremost, even if you take the effort ki theek hai, I'll have this for breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner, you source all the ingredients, what's the guarantee that you are getting the right ingredients? Because the market is very adulterated. In Bangalore you don't get fresh vegetables. I mean, potato and apple taste same, all vegetables taste literally same. It's like
Yeah.
just you're having water and cellulose. There is no flavor of that vegetable the way I get it here in my
Yeah.
hometown.
Mhm.
So that is second, that food is not fresh and it lacks the food in itself. The vegetables and fruits, they in themselves lack the nutrition.
Yeah.
And then third being, people these days, especially people who live in cities, they are so much exposed to artificial flavors, taste enhancers in the meals that are they eat outside, that the taste buds have they have become accustomed
Mhm.
to those artificial flavors. And then if you give them some healthy thing to eat, they won't like it, just don't like it. I mean, like, you give a child real strawberry, he
Mhm.
would say, this is, what is this? They will
Mhm.
relate strawberry to the artificial strawberry flavor
Yeah.
that comes in ice creams and all. And real strawberry taste people don't even know. So
Mhm.
that is the thing, and it's really hard for people to really be healthy in those
Mhm.
conditions.
Mhm. So, can you shed some light on, just to give a context of what you've been doing? So, maybe, in just 30 seconds to a minute, what all you accomplished in your SaaS, when you were doing your SaaS, business, and then we'll shift to your current one. So, just in 30 seconds or a minute, what was your SaaS business about, and what all was, accomplished in that?
Got it. So my SaaS journey has mostly been in edtech domain. After my MBA, I worked with this startup based out of Chennai, which was a learning platform. And after that, I moved to Bangalore. There again, it was an HR tech product for technical hiring. And there, in the previous one, I was leading sales and marketing, and in the second one, in the technical assessment platform, I was leading the product. I was the first product manager there, and fortunately, it worked well for them. The company got acquired by InfoEdge, and I got some, good money for my equity that I was holding there, and that gave me confidence to take a break and start something of my own. I also met my ex co-founder there in Do Select, where I was working earlier. And then
Okay.
together we decided to build this influencer marketplace called Shout Now.
Mhm.
That was also a very insightful journey. Like, we made the product and it got initial good traction, and PMF was there. But what we lacked at that point, I feel, was team building skills. So we put together a team, but when we were at peak, for some reason we lost the momentum and team kind of fell apart. So that was then, and then again co-founded another edtech startup, which right after COVID, it was for edupreneurs, so they could come and make their own courses. Depending on what kind of course it is, you would get different features. But then
Mhm.
we realized that there is another company doing it in some other part of the world. And then
Mhm.
after we discovered that it was not very exciting कि ठीक है किसी ने
Okay.
already कर लिया है.
All
So we
right.
left it. And then after that, yeah, and this was already there at the back of my mind. It was just that I didn't get a trigger, but then this incident happened with my friend,
Mm.
and I was already exploring ki what next to do. And
Mm.
then I was like, the problem is right there, is staring big in my face, impacting my near and dear ones, and why not this
Mm.
when I have all the
Great.
resources? So that's it.
So, what is the product you chose to venture into health and wellness, and why was that particular product chosen?
So, I have my first SKU that I've launched. I'll be very honest with you, okay? So, it is balanced nutrition. And the objective was to meet the nutritional deficiency among the urban population in a very healthy way, in a sustainable way, with clean ingredients. So this product has everything, healthy fats, carbs, all macro and micronutrients in perfect proportion. But when I was marketing it, I realized that people are looking for specific issues, like, and one of the biggest issue is obesity these days,
Yeah,
and that leads to then a lot of other things.
yeah,
So then when I realized, and I myself have the experience with obesity, having, lost more than 35 kgs, I realized that perhaps that would be a better market. See, nutrition deficiency also causes obesity, and this balanced nutrition product was launched keeping in mind कि मतलब कि पहले आप ABCD, you do ABCD first,
yeah.
and then you make sentences right on top of that.
Right.
So first fix the basic nutrition deficiency in your body, and the plan was to then go into specific niches. But considering the landscape and the market as of now, weight loss is the biggest category, and even the potential investors, they also look for niche categories. So I have decided to go in the market with this category, weight loss category.
Okay. So, are you comfortable sharing what is your product about, and like what does it
Yeah,
do?
sure. So, my product is, very simple. No, nothing complex in that. So, there is nothing ki kuch proprietary or trademark. Yeah, very simple, holistic, traditional Indian recipe. Base is sattu, which acts as a good plant protein source, pea protein. And I think one thing that has helped me in coming up with these recipes for all my SKUs is that I take a lot of interest in traditional, authentic cuisines, and I travel a lot. I have known a lot of such ingredients in my last few years that I was surprised at the richness of that India
Yeah,
has to offer. And one such ingredient was Garcinia when I was studying in TAPMI, which grows only in Western Ghats. Or we also call it Kokoma Malabar tamarind. And that helped me in my personal weight loss journey. I tried it when I was there. And सत्तू तो पहले से ही पता था, being from north, and then I bought these things together. I experimented for a few months, added more ingredients which enhance the effect of
yeah,
this recipe. For example, cumin seeds, they are actually very beneficial. Like आपने सुना होगा कि weight loss के
yeah,
लिए लोग बोलते हैं कि जीरा पानी पियो, right?
yeah.
So there are a lot of other ingredients which enhance the property of this recipe, and that is it. That is what I'm selling. But
Perfect.
where
And
I want to differentiate is कि see, people in urban cities, they don't get access to authentic source of
mm,
these ingredients. And my
yeah,
strength is sourcing. Coming from a farming background, I know how to evaluate. Like, I have people who know how to evaluate the quality of product. Just by looking at the chana, no, my dad can tell कि
yeah.
इसमें artificial fertilizer use हुआ होगा कि ये देसी चना है. So
बिल्कुल
that is
बिल्कुल.
the strength that I have.
Oh, that's fantastic because considering the kind of pesticides, etc., and chemicals, etc., are being used in even the farming community these days to enhance the produce. That is also, becoming a sort of a hazard to health. And
Yeah, yeah.
since you are personally invested into, your own health, and then you are taking this purpose to spread out, and to share with others in the community. So I'm sure that you are applying your own tests to it, and you are sure of the sourcing, of these products. And I'm sure that is also giving you some cost benefits, compared to your other competitors, maybe because these farms are yours, isn't
No,
it?
cost benefits they will give. That is the long term plan. So right now, we are not producing the ingredients for my recipe. Right now,
Okay.
I'm sourcing it from external vendors only. The only advantage I have right now is to gauge the quality of the
Yeah.
products and connections that I have in that community.
Yeah.
Now, once I do it at a scale, then I'll be able to convince my family ki see, there is a lot of demand
The
of this.
competition.
Let's
Yeah.
grow this on our farms. We used to grow these things earlier, but off late, because of the demand, there is more demand for wheat and rice and other commercial
Yeah.
products. So now
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a grow that.
So, since you were talking about sattu and this particular product, so of course a lot of people know about sattu, although many don't consume it sadly because I think it is not really readily available, and even if it is, then it's a very unorganized sort of a setup, a very unorganized sort of a market. But since
Right.
you've entered this product, I'm sure you've done some landscaping of the competitive landscape and what are other brands available in the same category.
Yeah.
So could you share, some SWOT analysis of your product versus the competition in the landscape out there?
See, off late, Sattu has been becoming popular. There are a lot of people who haven't heard of it, but who have not tried it, but they have heard of it. So that
Yeah,
way, it is catching popularity. Some brands have also come in this specific category, but Sattu in itself is actually a little bland, and not everyone will like the taste. And
Mhm.
especially like I said, that urban dwellers are their taste buds are accustomed to
Yeah,
flavors, artificial
yeah,
flavors. So, daily basis having sattu is something that many people might not have unless and until they are very, very health conscious.
yeah,
And second, sattu being very high in protein, plant protein, if you have it alone, it might cause, some gas problem to few
yeah,
people,
yeah,
right? Like chana zyada kha lete ho to. So because of those reasons, and like you said, ki market is also a little unorganized, and sattu is very tricky because it is made of roasted gram. I'll tell you where I struggled the most. So I sourced it from multiple places, okay, sattu, and the amount or the kind of extent to which you need to roast those chana, no, that is very tricky. If you roast it less, then you'll get that kacha aate ka taste. If you roast it more, you will lose the flavor. It will become very carbon jaisa. So it has
uh,
to be perfectly roasted. It has to be perfectly ground. The quality of chana used makes a lot of difference. So I use chana sourced from Rajasthan, and that has a natural tinge of hint of sweetness. Okay,
mhm.
from if you source it, although Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh are the biggest producers of chana, but the quality is different. So you need to
Okay,
source the right chana. You need to roast it to the perfection. Then you need to add ingredients to it, which will mellow down the negative or so-called side effects of that healthy ingredient. And then you need to make it tasty. And the recipe that I have cracked, I can vouch for it that all my customers, although it's a health drink, but my customers come back for taste. And I can proudly say that a lot of customers have written very good reviews around taste. I'm waiting to hear on ki, yeah, it has been very helpful in these issues for which I've made the product, but those obviously take little time. But initial feedback comes on taste, and yeah, that is
so
what
the
I've got.
product has already gone into the market, is it?
Yeah, product have gone in the market. I've got initial traction. I have done more than a little over 100 sales with about 60 unique customers, and my retention is about 60% from these initial set of customers. Although I have launched only sampler kits, but my customers come back and they were asking ki when will you launch the monthly pack, and I was like, I don't have funds right now, I'm planning it out, just
Mhm.
wait, let me and they're like, no, no, we will order then sampler only. And there are a lot of customers who have ordered 6 units of sampler, 5 units of sampler to make up for their monthly supply. And that is an immense joy. I mean, that is giving me confidence to pursue it. Otherwise, at one point, I was like, SaaS, D2C, I don't know the landscape. Like,
Yeah, but the good
should
thing
I
is,
not?
yeah, but the good thing is, that since you've been into SaaS, so you understand all the technicalities, of how a user behaves when, a particular, I mean, as per a
Yeah,
particular
exactly.
product. So, what do you have to say about your product market fit? Because you said 60 unique customers, right, out of 100, right? So, like, who are these 60 customers? Are they known to you? Are they complete strangers?
There are,
How do you ascertain a product market fit, and what will be that sweet spot, where you will say that, okay, these X number of people have liked my product, and X percentage is my retention, and X is my loyalty. So, what is, the determination of your product market fit as per you?
so I'll tell you, I don't know if this is the industry standard. I'll just tell you about my experience. So since I was low on budget, I just started with sharing it my college group from where I did my MBA. I shared a simple WhatsApp post ki, this is the product that I'm launching, please guys check it out. And 4 or 5 people ordered that day, in those 2 days. And then I was just waiting to get the feedback, and when I called these people, I got really good feedback, and they had referred it to some of their friends who I didn't know, and then the orders started coming in like that. So it was mostly referral, and then repeat orders from these customers. A couple of, and the TG is also very different. So this one channel that I opened was my college community, and the another one, I went to Gurgaon for a couple of days, and I did a yoga session in Leisure Valley Park, Sector 29. And they
Yeah,
were like,
very near
all
to my.
senior citizens coming. So, so that set of audience was like between 40, 50, 40 to 55, even 60, I guess. And I gave them this recipe to taste, and a couple of people really liked it, so I posted it in that group also, and I got a couple of orders from there as well. And the feedback that I got from there was a little different. So these people, when they have lunch and all, they often get this bloating and acid reflux issues after eating, and my drink was helping them with that, with the gut issues. So that was a use case which I didn't make the product for, but it got revealed when these people were consuming it, and they gave me the feedback. In fact, one of my customers just called me yesterday, and she was like, she often used to take probiotics with her daily routine. She also has the same problem, but once she started having my drink, she didn't have to take her probiotics. So
Okay.
these are some happy findings that I'm getting in my initial journey, and my customer TG, my TG is also like it varies between, and then yes, there is another segment. So my brother, who is studying in college, second year pursuing engineering, he मतलब कि वो बहुत चटोर है. He eats only like very very tasty stuff, and he doesn't eat food made at home. He keeps ordering from outside, but whenever he comes down to my place, he finishes my stock. Like, I literally have to fight with him ki
Does he
no,
pay
this
for it?
is, yeah, I have limited stock, I have to send it, but
Does
he
he pay for
finishes
it?
it.
Does he pay for it, or do you have to?
No, he doesn't. Obviously, he doesn't pay for it. So I keep it in boxes. I pack it only once I get the order to maintain the freshness. So I keep it in box, airtight box, and then he comes in with the spoon, like 1 glass, 2 glass, 3 glass. In one single day, he has like 4 or 5 glasses. He finishes off my stock. So, and then he takes it for his friends also. Okay, I'll make my friends also taste. So there is this college audience, and for them I think it makes a lot of sense, because in hostels you don't get like nutritious food, and there also
Yeah.
you are like awake all night, and it's handy, it's nutritious, and it's tasty. He takes it for taste, he gets it for taste, not for health benefits. Then there is another TG, which is like my audience, which are who are struggling with urban lifestyle issues. They are having it for high protein, they are having it for weight loss, etc. And then there is a senior citizen category who are having it for the gut issues, like gut problems. So I need I'm having all set of audience right now in too early stage, and I have to decide that where to kind of double down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the state of affair right now.
No, since you mentioned gut health also,
Hmm.
so apart from weight loss and obesity industry, uh, recently, lately, I'm sure you have also been seeing a lot of focus on gut health. A lot of
Yeah, it's
articles on the
emerging
internet.
category.
Yeah, a lot of articles on the internet, because people, due to their fast lifestyle and not able to give enough time to their food and to their healthy eating habits, people have started facing gut issues, and gut is also known as the second brain of your body, because it
Right.
regularizes all your nutritional stuff and your health, etc. So I think
Hmm.
if your product is solving for that issue as well, that it soothes your gut, right?
Hmm.
So I guess that is also sort of a winning point. And uh, I was going to ask a question which I think I have forgotten right now. Uh, what I meant was, okay, whenever it comes to my mind. Uh,
Yeah.
so, so what are the milestones which you have achieved so far, and how much time has it been? How much time has elapsed since you've launched your product, and what next?
So it's been about 3 months. I launched one unit of one stock of 100, soft launch of 100 units. That got sold out like within friends and family. I sold about 50 offline and gave away 50 online via my Shopify store. Then again, I launched another stock of 100 that I sent to Amazon, but unfortunately there was some name mismatch on my documentation, the GST and the FSI license, so that inventory is with them. So then again I launched another 100, which I am selling through Shopify, and I'm left with just 10 or 11. I have to restock now, I have to make another batch. But yeah, that's the milestones, that's the numbers. And as far as milestones are concerned, so I have done only one product launch as of now, that is balanced nutrition, which I was talking about.
Mhm.
And I have realized that when I position, so this, like you mentioned, ki see, our bodies are very complex and everything is interconnected. So you won't have something ki this product is good for only weight loss and it is
Yeah.
not good for anything else. Now this product is helpful in lot of things, and initially I was selling it like that, in one thing,
Mhm.
like a multivitamin thing, but something organic and holistic. बट
Mhm.
आई रियलाइज कि पीपल नीड मार्केट की डिमांड है कि अलग अलग चाहिए उनको, दे नीड डिफरेंट थिंग्स डिफरेंट इश्यूज. सो नाउ
Yeah.
नेक्स्ट अप इन लाइन इज weight loss SKU, wherein I will enhance the recipe to meet those goals specifically. And
Uh-huh.
then another one would be, I think, around healthy hair and skin, so which would be more rich in antioxidants, because
Mhm.
living in cities we have so much of pollution, there is lot of free radical damage, so early signs of aging, wrinkles and all are very common. So to fight that we need. And then like we say that fruits and vegetables like tomato are rich in antioxidants, but the quality of fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables they reach to cities, they don't have,
Yeah.
they lack those. So
Plus the genetically modified foods these
yes.
days. Yeah, plus the genetically modified foods these days.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what are the challenges which you faced so far, and how big is your team right now?
Team, I would say full time. I'm the only person, and
With a company
I
full,
have, yeah. But I have a good network of friends who help me with the stuff. So I come from a marketing background. So initial customers who bought the product from me, they called me and they're like, they gave me a lot of suggestions also. Ki packaging iski aise kar le, or messaging should be like this. So I've been getting, like, I have a lot of free consultants who also have done MBA in marketing along with me. And apart from that, I have also a good network in the technical side, My brother is also developer. He does backend engineering. He helps me with the Shopify. Any customizations I need in Shopify, so I go to my brother. He does that for me. I have good connections in designer also. So there is a friend of mine who is a designer, and she helped me with the packaging. So like that, friends helping me, family helping me
That's
right
wonderful.
on.
So uh, this market, which you've entered is a very saturated market. Although the D2C penetration is still in the single digits in the country, but nutrition and wellness, I know, you've covered a bit about this in this conversation earlier. But this is a very saturated market, and as you said earlier, that there are tons of brands out there trying to reach out, trying to get a wallet share of the customer, and trying to sell the same products, the Me Too products. Although Sattu is not uh, a popularly, sold product in the organized space, as we discussed earlier, but it does not stop anyone else, to get into that space. And I'm sure people have been thinking about, when, yeah. So, it doesn't stop anyone else from getting into this product, right? So,
Yeah.
how will you maintain relevance? How will you maintain differentiation? What would be your USP? What is that one aspect as per you which will, make your initial consumers forgive you, even if you make some mistakes, as every startup does, in the beginning phases of their, lifestyle, sorry, life cycle, when they are trying to acquire new markets, when they are trying to acquire new pin
Right.
codes, let's say,
Yeah.
कुछ ना कुछ तो फटता ही है, एक startup में, like, like all of us have experienced that. So
Yeah.
what is your
For me
strategy?
right now, delivery. So I'm using Shiprocket as my delivery partner, and it really fucks up a lot of time. So my customers, sometimes they wait for more than 10 days. Sometimes, there are fake delivery attempts and then RTO comes. So that is something which I'm dealing with. But yes, um, what is going to be table stakes for me now and in future would be the quality and authenticity of the product. So I'll
Mhm.
never compromise on that, even if it means, कि if by adding little bit of some binder or emulsifier, I could improve the texture so that it becomes more smooth for certain customers. No, I won't do that, because that is the whole idea. That is the gap that I'm seeing in the crowded and saturated market. Ki there are a lot of health supplements, but they are catering to what people are asking. Okay, people are asking for taste, so they're just catering to that by adding, like कि कोई भी supplement आप आज उठा लो market में, and if you read the labels, all of them have these binders and emulsifiers which actually stop nutrition absorption.
Yeah.
And then what's the point of a nutrition supplement if it is, stopping the absorption of nutrition?
Mm.
So things like this. So like this is going to be constant for me, that 100% clean ingredients. And my customers also say that ki they can feel it in the taste, the difference.
Mhm.
So that is going to be one. And then in long term, like I said, something that will differentiate me from my competitors would be the in-house sourcing. So once I start cultivating my own farmlands, I will have more control. I'll make sure that the produce is grown and cultivated using all organic methods, and it will also help me reduce the COGS and have more control over the quality.
Wonderful. So I guess what you're trying to say is that whatever your USP is, you'll have to tell a very impactful story, which goes into the marketing domain of how your brand stands out compared to any other brands. Because at the end of the day, product is one thing which you are offering, and you know that you have a lot of USPs over there. You have a lot of edge over there in terms of in-house sourcing, or in terms of your own expertise in nutrition and wellness, and what sort of ingredients you are using. But on the other hand, uh, how well are you able to communicate that to the market through storytelling or through branding? I'm sure that will also make a lot of difference. So do you have a marketing team in place right now, or what is your plan of of when should you acquire a marketing team, when should you have a marketing team, at what stage of your growth?
As soon as I raise my seed funding.
And what's
Yeah,
going
so
on in
that's
your
the
seed
only thing
funding?
that is
What's
stopping
going
me
on?
right now.
What's going on in the seed funding front as of now? How many investors you've met, and if you're comfortable sharing that?
I'm actually waiting to get a predictable number on customer acquisition CAC, and because of budget constraints, I'm trying all unpaid methods as of now. So, for example, by organically putting up content on channels like Instagram, LinkedIn, surprisingly, I get good traction and even conversions from LinkedIn. That was something I was not expecting. And YouTube Shorts is something that I'm yet to start. Apart from that, there are a couple of brand collaborations that I'm in talks with. So their TG and our TG are very similar, catering to the same urban dwellers. They must be in, like, fashion or jewelry, but it
Yeah,
goes well because
yeah.
these clothing and jewelry, they'll make you look good from outside, but you need to look good from inside also, and for that it kind of complements. So those collaborations are something that I'm considering. And thirdly, I'm also trying to get the product listed on some of the platforms like Cred or CheckU, where it gets some eyeballs, and I can start getting some traffic by giving out some vouchers. So once I crack one of these channels and I start getting a constant and predictable new customer acquisition, that is when
Yeah.
I think I'll be a little more confident to get the negotiations in my favor. Otherwise, I'll have to dilute, because if more uncertainty is there, obviously I have to dilute more.
So throw us some numbers. What is your current CAC? The customer acquisition cost, and where do you plan to? What is your target, and how much equity are you willing to dilute once you get a seed funding? Throw us some numbers. Just to give us some vague idea of what's happening on the number space.
So, as of CAC, I think on Meta initially, like it's been a couple of months since I'm doing paid campaigns, but initially when I was doing, they were like in the range of 1,000. That was the
Fantastic.
number I was getting, 1,000 per customer acquisition cost. And in terms of marketplace, so I did some sales via on Amazon also. So there it was around ranging between 400 to 500, which is industry standard. And I can go and give it as the base metrics, but since the scale was too small, so I just want to kind of do it at a larger scale to validate my numbers. And as far as ask and equity dilution is concerned, I have not given much thought there, because I have not actively started the outreach. And the work is still more on right now product development, customer development. And once I'm like little more confident over here, and once I decide, okay, now I actively want to reach the customers, these investors, that is when I'll do all my paperwork around this.
And what is your ask of the seed funding? A rough figure?
Yeah, rough figure calculation that I have done, it would be somewhere around 1 CR.
Once, yeah. Okay. I guess the average ticket size these days, in the past few months, have been for the seed, especially for the tech products. If I'm not wrong, you would know better because you have a tech and a SaaS background. Is roughly around $1 to $1.5 million, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong, isn't it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So your seed funding of 1 CR is, I think, a very realistic goal, and considering your product, the differentiation which you are using, and the marketing which you would be using in the future, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
1 CR is a very tempting deal even for the investor, to invest, there.
Yeah, I want to keep my team very lean. I don't want to
Yeah,
invest, in fancy office spaces.
yeah.
I will have, I think, my team working remote. Just, like I will have a 4 5 member team. That is good enough for me at this
Yeah,
point until I go to the Series A level.
yeah.
And most of these funds would be used for product development and marketing. So paid
Mhm.
channels.
Yeah,
Paid channel is
yeah.
something that I'm not able to explore right now.
Mhm.
So with these funds, I'll be in a better place to
Sure.
explore that.
So what you're saying is that 1 CR, like the 1 CR, the highest percentage would go into marketing,
Yeah.
not into production of your product, because that is already taken care at the back end through your family.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying. I'm saying ki product development and marketing. Product
Product
and
development
marketing
and
is there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. All right, all right. Fantastic. So, okay. And imagine, you're standing in 2025, which is 2 years, not exactly 2 years, because, in 2023, only 100 days are left, less than 100 days are left. So, where do you
Yeah.
see your company, your product? What all cities have you covered? What is the rough money which you're making, revenue stream, etc.?
To be really honest, I have not thought of it in terms of numbers, but I have definitely. I'm a dreamer and I daydream a lot, and in that sense, I have dreamt of it. Few months down the line, a couple of years down the line, I'll be able to cultivate my own farm. So a normal day would be like, getting up, just checking on the produce, ki all the produce is like healthy. And then having a morning stand up with my team to make sure that all the functions are, if there is anything needed for any specific function, and then going in my kitchen, reiterating on the next SKU for the nth time, and getting all my family members to taste it. So that is the kind of day again. Yeah, then again winding up the day by checking the numbers. I have to keep a tab on those. But the way I want to build this company is more like, I would want anyone should raise a child. Like, I wanted to be independent as soon as possible
Mhm.
under under my watch. So I don't want to be, always, directing it ki okay bahut tight. I don't want to lead it. I want my customers only to give it a shape, and my employees to listen to my customers and come to me if they need any resource in terms of money, in terms of new machinery. So I would be playing a role of enabler, and that is where I want this firm to reach at that stage as soon as possible. And I think 1 year is a good time frame. 1 to 2 years is that is what I would want for this.
That's wonderful. And any strategies for offline channel, leveraging communities or leveraging marketplaces? Marketplaces, so I'm sure you will leverage because that's a natural progression in a D2C industry. But what about leveraging offline channels? Have you given a thought on that yet, or is that a distant sort of a plan?
I have given a thought because you get high touch customers by offline channels, but again, because offline is expensive, like you need to deploy people, you need to go out there on field, and that is beyond my expertise, to be honest.
Mhm.
So I first want to, build it
Yeah.
online first, exploit online, and then when I have a team, when I have resources, when I have money, then we can definitely explore offline.
All right. So I guess
So
so far the
offline,
conversation.
in terms of customer acquisition, like I said, I already did little bit, like doing that Leisure Valley campaign and then getting
Yeah.
some customers from there.
Yeah.
Once I went to my office, like previous office also, and there I gave the product to a couple of ex colleagues. So in that way, it is already happening, but at scale, there's some time.
Wonderful. So I guess your vision is very empowering and very clear, because what the problem which you are trying to solve is the nutritional deficiencies of the urban hustler, right? As you like to say, for your company called Day-to-Day Health. Am I right? Day-to-Day Health is the brand, right?
Yeah.
And uh, the statistics, totally back your claim because, for example, 90% of the country is protein deficient, right?
Yeah.
Heart issues are coming up in younger and younger people. 70 to 80% of the people, especially women, are anemic in the country of all, profiles, not only, people who are stuck in poverty, etc. So I guess a concept like yours is what people need to complement with their very fast moving urban lifestyle where they do not have much time to slow down and to savor their food or their nutrition, although that's a very good habit and they should do that, but
No, I would
you-
just beg to pardon here. They must savor.
they
They
must,
have to
they must.
savor. Good food, nutritious food is actually savory. It
Yeah,
is not savory when like I said, ki fruits and vegetables in cities are bland because they're not real. They are not authentic. But real food is actually very flavorful,
very
but
flavorful.
people don't have access to it, and that is what I want to solve. People have access to health supplements that they're ordering online, but those are like those dry supplements extracted using some processing or natural food does not substitute the natural food. So
Yeah.
I want to make up for this nutrition deficiency by providing access to holistic real food grown organically and authentic in its most authentic form.
Do you have a pack handy, if you can show your sampler kit or something?
Sure, I drink it myself. I'm the biggest customer of my
Oh,
drink.
okay. Okay, so the packaging and all is pretty, I guess, great, and a lot of it has
Yeah.
been already daily balanced nutrition. Uh-huh. And what is that? That purple
Number.
fruit?
That is
Garcinia.
Cocum Garcinia. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure people are liking it. So, any insight on what is your male to female ratio of consuming this?
Females are getting it more.
Is it
I think
because
ratio
of the weight loss? Uh, you know,
could be, could also be that I am more connected to female community, and could also be because of the color pink.
I thought
So
so earlier, but is that pink or is that purple? Uh,
it's this purplish pink, but
okay,
yeah, could be a reason that some people might associate it to more femininity. But packaging is something that I'm revisiting.
okay,
While this is good, thanks to
that's good.
Shweta, like my designer's name is also Shweta, the
Also,
friend who's working with the.
yeah.
So, but yeah, we are going to have a better packaging next batch.
Wonderful. And I'm sure this is a sampler kit, because if we are talking
Yeah,
about day-to-day sort of a consumption, which means that people should be able to order it maybe once a month,
yeah, yeah.
and they should
That's the
have
plan.
at least 30 servings stacked up in their houses, so that they don't
Right,
have to
right.
order it again and again, right? Yeah, that will make it very easy.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah,
I mentioned, right? People are ordering it in five ka ek saath,
yeah,
6 units ek saath because they want it to have a stock of it. And in future, I would also prefer a subscription model because that will help me with the projections, and I could stock up inventory accordingly.
yeah. Okay.
That's the plan. Let's see out.
I hope I haven't missed any point which you wanted to communicate. If I have, then you can surely talk about it.
Um, I'd like to end with something that I would want to share with anyone who is watching this podcast, and that would be पहला सुख निरोगी काया दूजा सुख घर में हो माया. It's always health first. Please do not compromise on health, and most of health actually comes from food. Your nutrition defines how healthy you are. So
Yeah.
old saying goes ki I can tell who you are just by knowing what you eat, and that
Eat.
is really very very true.
Very powerful. Yeah.
And food has to be in its most natural form, in its most unprocessed, it has to be how nature has produced it.
Yeah.
The moment you process it, you distort lot of, chemical chemistry gets disturbed, and then it is not fit for consumption. It definitely does not have as much nutrition, and it might have a lot of side effects also. So try and have the food in as less processed form as possible. And this,
Yeah.
although it is a packaged food, but this is not processed at all. It's like, just roasting is not what you would call processed. It actually enhances the properties. So this
And where
is
can I
good.
buy this? On Shopify?
Yes, shop.day2day.health.
Okay.
You should
So
order and try it. I would
yeah,
love
yeah.
to have a feedback on taste from you.
All the best for your product.
Thank you.
And actually, I'll share a link with you after this conversation is over, because actually I wanted to share that with you before, but I guess it had skipped my mind. Last Sunday, I was in touch with one of our startup grind co-directors in the Israel chapter, Tel Aviv chapter. So he
Okay.
shared with me a link, which is very useful for people like you who are looking for some funding and who have already have a product in hand. So do register on that link. It will take you to some page on Startup Grind, and then I'll be connecting you with this guy called, I guess his name is Naman, if I'm not mistaken. He's an Indian, but he operates out of the Silicon Valley headquarters at Startup Grind. So
Okay.
he connects with a lot of uh, investors and VCs and all that.
Hmm.
And plus, I'm sure you are also in touch with a lot of people in India also.
Yeah,
So
that will be very helpful. I want some connect in US or UK because see, like this product Sattu, India is the 80% produces India 80% of chana overall in world. And
yeah,
then मतलब UK US में
lot
तो
of
होता
trade
ही नहीं है, तो
opportunity.
there's a lot of big export opportunity here.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Fantastic. So let's call it a day. And it was great having this conversation with you.
Yeah, pleasure. It was pleasure, Advait. Thank you. Thanks again for having me.